Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Roger's Reflections on Monday, October 26th, in the year 2020. Today, I'm going to be reading a couple of verses from the 12th chapter of the book of Proverbs in the Old Testament. Proverbs chapter 12, verses 15 and 16. Fools think that their own way is right, but the wise listen to advice. Fools show their anger at once, but the prudent ignore an insult. Fools think their own way is right, but the wise listen to advice. Fools show their anger at once, but the prudent ignore an insult. Two thoughts here. One, again, we all, in a sense, think our own way is right, but here's the difference. The wise will listen to advice, will listen to others. And there are times in all of our lives where we're foolish or we tend to be more wise. Sometimes I take advice and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm convinced my way is the right way and I don't want to hear anything different. I was joking Sunday, I talked about being an idea person. And I laughed and I said, yeah, I've got a lot of great ideas. And well, some of them are great. Okay, maybe a few, and folks laughed at that because, again, it's has to do with, I think my ideas are wonderful, I think they're fabulous. I think you should implement all of them. But I also know, hindsight, that some of my ideas that were implemented were just a unmitigated disaster. And some ideas that I did have that I really, really thought were wonderful, if they had been implemented, would have been a disaster. And there have been times also when I've had ideas when someone would come and give a word of advice, I would tweak it a little bit or change it, and sometimes I'd say no. Okay, I get your point. You know, um, you know, are you willing to listen to words that challenge your assumptions, that challenge your ideas, that challenge your thinking? Um, Now, no one likes discipline or rebuke, and we've talked about this. No one likes to hear that, but um, the wise listen to advice, or the wise, I think, also try to find the lesson in any critique, any criticism, any words, whether you take the advice or not, if you can find something good to apply, if you can find the lesson, um, I think you will grow in your understanding and in your maturity. And then he talks about that. He said, fools show their anger at once, but the prudent ignore an insult. Um, we've all known people that were just, they fought all the time. They responded all the time with anger, and you just kind of walked on eggshells around them. And really, that what that does is that there's no real, all their relationships are shallow. If there's somebody that really likes how they respond, then usually that person has the same type of personality trait, and so they both like to get angry, and they enjoy the thrill of the rush. But what this does is it keeps people from building relationships with them, and it, it it keeps significant conversation from happening. Let's put it that way. Um, when you hear something that angers you, and you respond immediately, whether it's just lashing out at someone, whether it's shooting an email, whether it's posting something, um, you know, there's no chance to learn because you've already drawn your line in the sand. You've already made your stand. However, sometimes if you get past that initial anger and listen to what someone has to say, there's a chance that you can learn, that you can grow, and there's a chance you may have been mistaken in what their intent was when they said whatever it is. I mean, and sometimes, yeah, you're going to still be angry. Sometimes you might be even angrier as you listen to what they have to say. But most most of the time, almost all the time, if you wait on your anger, um, it's going to be a good thing. Um, the prudent ignores an insult. I mean, and I get that. I know it's tough sometimes. I hear an insult or I hear bad news, and it just sits here, and I stew over it. That's me, and I know I shouldn't. I know that's how I deal with that, and so this is a constant battle. I don't want you to have that battle. So fools think their own way is right, but the wise listen to advice. Learn to listen to the advice. Fools show their anger at once, but the prudent ignore an insult. Let's practice that today and see what God will teach you in the midst of that. All right? Thanks a lot, my friends. We'll talk to you tomorrow.